Right now we're going to ask Brother Ajamu to come to the stage representing Peel the Hood. One more time, give it up for Ajamu.
No, y'all got to give me more than that. What's going on, family? There we go. So I'm not going to tally before y'all long. I just wanted to share out with Peel the Hood and just say thank you to the ancestor who is now Dr. Mbalia. One thing that I can remember about Dr. Mbalia growing up, or Baba as I call him, in the village, you don't just have your biological father. You have a lot of men in the community who gonna watch over you, they gonna discipline you, they gonna give you wisdom, they gonna give you love and insight. And Baba Mbalia for me was one of those father figures in my village. So I'm thankful to see the legacy that he has continuing, even though he is no longer with us. I absolutely am in awe at the balance of movement and family. He loved this movement, he loved his family. He made sure that his family was a part of the movement, and the movement was a part of his family. And to me, that's real revolutionary action. Because all too often we get people with one foot in and one foot out.
Amen.
He was a soldier.
Yes.
He was a soldier to his
Yes.
last breath, point blank period. And so I'm honored to be a child of his, a community child of his, a spiritual child of his, and to continue on the work. Leave you all with the mighty words of Garvey, up ye mighty race. Peace.
Up ye mighty
Son
race.
and daughter of Baba Mbalia, let me see you raise your hand. Not a biological, you came up under Dr. Mbalia, tutelage, under his influence, under his expressions, under his organizational purview. Let me see you raise your hand. I know they talk about, and I think Gavin was talking about, everything that Baba was doing, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't speak for Baba right now, and he would be the first one to say that he didn't do anything, that it was always the people, the energy of the people, the collective. So I know we all stand by our organization and what we do collectively, and our energy is always wrapped around organizing groups, organizing collective individuals to work to solve the problem of the African. So just want to make that well known before Baba visit me later on. But at this point, let's bring up another son of Baba, Brother Alfonso Watkins, representing Cobra. So give it up for Alfonso.
The first thing I must do is have permission to speak. I have permission to speak. All right, thank you, thank you. First thing I must always do is give honor and praise to our Creator for creating us in His image and in her likeness and giving us the breath of life and an opportunity to live another day. And hopefully we will be positive and productive human beings. Second, I must give honor and praise to our ancestors, male and female, who survived the Ma'afa. The brothers and sisters who died during the Ma'afa. The Ma'afa is the African Holocaust, and many times, once again, we don't give enough praise and honor to those brothers and sisters who sacrificed their life. And the third thing I must always do is actually create the ancestors to bless our brothers and sisters who have lost their indigenous African minds, trying to navigate their way through this illusion of white supremacy, racism, and discrimination. I'm not going to stay long, but I am also a Desert Storm vet. When I came back to Milwaukee, I ran across Mbalia, and Baba Mbalia was, I said, who is this brother calling everybody African? Who is this brother every time he sees another brother and sister with melanated skin, he calls them African? So that's how it was my introduction to Baba Mbalia. So as I transitioned and was going to school at UWM, I didn't necessarily take any Afro-ecology courses, but I would stop through and holler at Baba Mbalia to help keep me grounded as I traveled through that institution with the European people. So that was once again my relationship with Baba Mbalia. As Baba Mbalia was starting his transition, we began to reconnect. And I would stop by his house and spend time with him and break bread with him. And even in his transition, the brother was still speaking revolution. He was still talking about the reality of our position from a socialist and capitalist and communism. He was always putting me up on game about how do you go into the community and continue these conversations amongst our people. So I'm truly honored to be up here and stand and speak on behalf of what my relationship or what our relationship has been with Baba Mbalia. So once again, family, peace and blessings. And we have some information about Cobra. Sister Herrera has some flyers. So we're going to have a conversation with the community about Cobra. and concept of reparations and what that means to our community. So once again, family, peace and blessings.
Brother Alfonso Watkins, absolutely. I remember being at Juneteenth last year, and this is around the time that Baba's health was failing, and I ran into Alfonso at Juneteenth, and I said to him, I had just left the house, and I said, Fon, you might want to go speak to him, you might want to go see him. And I remember him like almost packing his stuff up immediately and going right down the street to the house and going to see Baba and Mbalia. So just the impact that he had on so many people was always a sight to see. But I know he appreciates you being here. Right now, got to bring another son of Baba, another former member of Africans on the Move, Pan-African Revolutionary Socialist Party. Was in class with his brother, probably go back close to 20 years. He left us, went to California, started living that California lifestyle for a minute, started an organization, contrabanded.com, got involved in organization out west, came back home, committed himself to changing the conditions of right here in Milwaukee. If you've ever seen this documentary, Stranger Fruit, that talks about the Mike Brown case in depth, in critical detail, in detail that we've never seen before. He's a pivotal, critical part of bringing that documentary to the forefront. So this is another one of my brothers. I want to welcome to the stage, brother Bobby Pico Baker. Give it up. How y'all doing?
All right.
If you love your life, say yeah.
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 I'm gonna take 2 minutes. I'm gonna time myself 2 minutes. Because Baba Mbalia was a disciplined person. And I met him when I was 18 years old at the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I took class with a lot of y'all. So I see Melvin, I see Terrence, I see Gat, I see Muhib. And there's never been anybody in my life that will stay in my brain. I was 2,000 miles away in LA living, and Baba was there every day reminding me of what not to do. And when I moved back, I never was able to connect the same way because I was so active. But I remember one time I told myself, Baba, I'm going to Africa. And he said, you'll never understand class until you go to Africa. And when I went there, I saw what he was talking about, because as African people, we think that we've made it here, but we have so much work to do. So I appreciate him so much. And to the Mbalias, Jendai, Kwame, Kamal, I appreciate y'all for giving your family to everyone. It's difficult for people to call someone Baba and he's not their father, but all of us call Baba our father because of the way he touched us and
Yes,
informed
sir.
us.
Yes, sir.
I encourage all of us who are out in this community to live like that, to give constantly, to be a person of spirituality, even if he might not have described it like that, but to always be inspirational. So I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate Mbalia, and I'm so blessed to have a chance to be in his life. Thank y'all very much.
So at the end, we are going to open the mic up for people who we didn't actually invite and put on the program to share some expressions about the impact that Baba may have had in your life. So if you're sitting there thinking about, man, I wish I had an opportunity to just share with the people how Dr. Mbalia or Baba impacted me, I certainly would. So we will provide a little time for you to come up and share those expressions smoothly.
It was Dr. Menza. He was trying to get the African studies changed to anthropology. In my class, we brought the books alive that he assigned to us, and they brought the dean, and they all took a look at the program, how it's just not just African history, but it covers all the things that we have brought to this world.
Yes.
And so they were so elated and happy, and they changed us to Africology thanks to our class. So, Dr. Mbalia, good Lord, I've been knowing them for, I don't know how long. Black Reality, I took Black Reality, yes I did. I also took the class with Joyce Kirk, Dr. Kirk, on educating the black male. So I took those classes. So, but Dr. Mbalia and Sister Mbalia, I've been knowing them for, like I said, for years. I want to tell this story because Simon, you remember Simon? Dr. Mbalia. The young man, his name is Simon. He just opened up a business. And so he said, he want me to tell this story about him, there's a relationship that he had with Dr. Mbalia. He said that he went in the store, Dr. Mbalia was in the store shopping, and there was these two Caucasian people. They were walking in back of him, and so he said he went and jumped in front of them, and he took and pushed Dr. Mbalia. And he said Dr. Mbalia turned around and thought it was them. And so he turned around, you pushed me? And so he said he interjected. He said he just want everybody to know that he was just like his father, and the relationship that they had, he had to hurry up and tell him because he said Dr. Mbalia wasn't going to let nobody push on him that he didn't know. So he said to tell that story. But I had an awesome relationship with both of them. In particular, Dr. Mbalia, when I do the 4th day of July, Independence Day, he always would bring a case of soda. And I said, we're trying to eat right, eat to live, to make a difference. He said, but I just wanted to bring something because I'm busy trying to put the program together for school. And I said, I understand, because he said, I don't celebrate that. And I said, we don't either. We do the 4th day of July Independence Day, because they depended on our ancestors to build this country. So we do the education, and they all come out. Dr. Cecil Austin, everybody come out and help reenact of what really happened. So I just want to thank Sister Mbalia and Dr. Mbalia for sharing their lives with me as my plight at UWM as a student. Thank both of you all. Love you.
Thank you, Sister Herrera. Appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. Definitely want to thank Sister Herrera and Cobra, Alfonso Watkins, representing the organization that helped sponsor to make sure that this was a successful GarveyFest. So we never want to move forward without thanking everybody who were a part of making this day successful. And it turned out nice. You know, when you plan an event outside, you're always nervous about the weather.
Amen.
But we think that the ancestor Baba made sure that it wasn't a cloud in the sky, at least not at this time, so we have to give it up to the ancestors. Right now, I'm going to bring another son of Baba to the stage, who's probably performed along with Gad, along with Boo, almost at all of our GarveyFest. So it's like another staple. Have to have this brother perform at our events. So please give it up for King Kamanzi.
Yes! Yes!
Bless, family. Rastafari. Rastaman, you ready, brethren? All right, before we start, can we have some energy? Could y'all say, fire, fire, fire?
Fire, fire, fire!
Take it higher, higher, higher.
Higher, higher, higher!
We didn't come to talk too much, we just came to chant. I'm another son of Baba, it's like a father to me. The same time last year I was in Kenya, helping organize for peaceful election. Because everywhere we go, the devil's always working overtime.
Yes!
We're working triple time.
Yes,
fire
sir!
upon white supremacy, fire upon the Vatican, fire upon racism, sexism, and every ism. Say fire!
Fire!
Now they're ready. Baba never went nowhere. Baba's right here. Who can feel the spirit of Baba?
Yes!
We don't deal with death. We deal with life. Life over death. Good over evil. Right over wrong. Jah over Satan. Positive over negative. Peace over war. Jah! Run the rhythm, you. Give me some volume on that. All Africans put them hand in the sky. Asiatics, originals, Moors, no matter what the name is. Here we go. What? All Africans put the hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie I. We're to make the people unify. Chant Ya Rastafari, yeah, we're to know we love and Baba up in Mount Zion high. All across the youth put the hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie I. We're to make the people unify. Chant Ya Rastafari, yeah, we're to know we love and up the top of Mount Zion high. Life's a journey and me looking at the scroll again. With the them walking and them looking at the road again. With the Jacomanti never selling out them soul again. With the ancient Jessica and the Ethiopians. With the fire burn and the Roman Babylonians. With the burning politician lying on the podium. With a burn the policeman and guns will explode again. With a chant again because you know them bombs are showing them. And Rastafari, yeah, we never sell this soul again. With a burning fire when them hot never cold again. And them are fighting for the water and petroleum. With a Jaffa Monday chanting him and them will go again. With the African group hands up in the air again. And now we chant and know we're not scared again. With a know we African and never American. With a chant again and fire upon them. All Africans put their hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie. With a make the people unify. Chant your Rastafari, yeah, with a know we love in Africa from Mount Zion high. All Africans put their hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie. With a make the people unify. Chant your Rastafari, yeah, with a know we love in Africa from Mount Zion high. And now we chant and the people will unite again. Put down the gun and put down the knife again. With it then we burn and embrace for your life again. With a jump on the come and then we will ignite again. With a chant and then them blow like them hydrogen. With a good for mind and the body like a vitamin. With a chant again because explode like the nitrogen. With a wind and chant and level them see. Mbalia, look at the cell. Say yeah! Good over evil. Ancestors is here. Big up to the artists. Big up to the people there. Again! All Africans put their hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie. Gonna make the people unify. Chant your Rastafari. Yeah, gonna know we love in Africa from Mount Zion high. All Rasta youth put their hands up high. And now it's time that we chant Selassie. Wanna make them unify, and them know we sing. And with the love and the youth coloring again. We say now watch out for them police again. Them have a gun and them act like a beast again. Wanna tell them all again, and them take a seat again. Wanna take a seat and now we chant to the elite again. Wanna deal with unity, and we deal with peace again. Wanna jump from one day come to revelate the street again. Wanna put down gun and then put down the heat again. Wanna chant again non-stop. Say ja! Ja! Mbalia! Mbalia! All Africans put their hands up high. And now Mbalia, cause them worldwide. Wanna make them unify, chant your Rastafari. And wanna know we love in Africa from Mount Zion high. All Africans put their hands up high. Yeah! And the people have to do. I'm telling you to watch out for the policemen, they call the Roman soldier. I mean, don't fear no gun, no bomb. No weapon formed against I and I can what? Yes, can prosper. We don't fear them white man God, or the black man them God. Too much God in the world till they burn fire upon God. I want next select. Turn that up. Now can I take you back to something called hip hop?
Yes!
Take you back to hip hop. Here we go, turn that volume up, align your chakras. Selector. That's alright. We have some drums here, you know if we chant now your biggie, we don't even need a beat. We use a heartbeat, drums, wood, anything with the chant on. Our rhythm selector, turn this up. In the memory of Mbalia,
Yes!
James White.
Yes,
Our
sir!
elders, heroes and sheroes.
Yes, sir!
Rise up, black child.
Yes!
We pain, we stress, and still we survive. Rise, black child, we arise. To the system designed to conquer and divide. Arise, black child, them arise. The time is now, for them can now survive. Arise, black child, them arise. When the system come, but now what we be unify. Rise, black child, you be rise. This is real life, not a lyric I wrote in the studio. Life is so beautiful when you're suited and suitable. They promote the evil, the gun, drugs, and the movie roles. Make way to black child, the solution, yo. Talking to Muslim Jews, talking to Christians, talking to the rosters, talking to politicians. Somebody gotta listen to what the power meant. Cause what the power meant, economic empowerment. Every child's a celebrity with integrity. Invest in your family, they are the legacy. Plant a seed in your family tree. That's your pedigree. Don't try to get a name, get a degree. Hey, a death will survive and rise, black child, them arise. With the system designed to conquer and divide and rise, black child, them arise. Hey, hey, with a put up all your hand for Mr. Mbalia. I wouldn't know we feel the ancestor. Again, and with a big it up and now the crazy father. And rise again once Africa. Again, when police come around, they try to gun us down. Whether mainstream or maybe underground. Everywhere you go, you wanna see them thunder now. See your brother rising, always pull a brother down. Try to run around, then give them the run around. No, it's not okay, see, cause I'ma let my thunder pound. Life is a struggle now, fluctuate up and down. The mess is so pure, the devil can't cut it now. But I'm telling you that time to create and tell the black youth they'll be great again. They're trying to get because destiny await, and you know that love conquers hate. Again, kill the rhythm one time. Say ja. Now y'all want me to go freestyle?
Yes, sir.
Stand on them? I'm
Yes, sir.
no bacon. But if I get mad, I might have to go hand on them.
Yes, sir.
Put them hands on them and say, what? Now we gotta stand on them. In other words, we can get fly like no one is flyer. I am like Muhid, but there's no way we can die Earth. Because
Yes,
Muhid
sir.
is one pocket. In other words, on the back burner. He is great. If I come back, I might resurrect in the form of Gap Turner. Or maybe I should do these lyrical styles on the side calling you. Come back like the elder. I am Mr. Mbalia. And then after that, they be dumbstruck. My lyrics are swinging like the brother over there with them nunchucks. In other words, when I start this struggle, though, I am like the unk. No, you can call me uncle though. And we got a whole lot of flows, this is how my family see. We are all seeds and roots from my family tree. Brothers be like, are you spitting slang? Who organization you roll with? Well, I'm not the police, cause goddamn, they are the biggest gang. And you know they try to kill us off, and that would be like chemistry. Well, my DNA is too far too heavy to ever be defeated by white supremacy.
Yes,
and
sir.
we are cold again, whether you call me Jah, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh. Ain't that all names for creator? Can we do it the God way?
Yes,
You can be
sir.
Haitian, you can be Muslim or Moorish Temple or NOI or FOI. But ain't it all the same thing? Because when you really get down to it, we all have same-sex chakras and we all be the same king. And they say the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, that's the Trinity. I had to tell y'all, no, I deal with man, woman, and children. That's the Trinity. I had to tell y'all. But they be like, where? They done took the presence of the woman out of it. That's how them Europeans do. Because them boys speak more for boys and girls feel. We've been burning all that down because you know how a long time ago. I hate to be judgmental, but don't judge my mental. My mind is right here. They might try to judge my mental. And they say, man, when you be freestyling, you're really good. The street needs help. I said that I'll be like Ajamo when we come to heal the hood.
Yes, sir.
Every time I do this on a program, maybe I should turn it to Khalil. My last name might be Cole, man. But I could do it so many ways and see that you not me, but you watch me. I am a descendant of myself, that would be Kuman Z. When I go in storm, I create tsunamis. And whether you African, Haitian, or maybe down from Center Street, or maybe you Somali, ain't you all the same thing in the all nation? Because I was a Garveyite. Everything that I teach like Marcus Garvey, right? When they was in the darkness, we shined a Marcus Garvey light. And then we go down the runway. If I start freestyling, you don't take away from the mic, then goddamn it, I'm gonna keep freestyling till Sunday. And they be like, wait a minute, but Turner, don't you gotta teach tomorrow? So let me get off the mic right now, otherwise I won't have time to borrow. But there's another brother right there named Derek Rogers. Oh, he's not a Durango, there's no way to dodge him. Oh, did you catch that? He's an elder too. In other words, he can help a crew. Helping me, he's helping you. But let me stop right here, because I'm addicted to freestyle. That's my only drug. And for all my African, Black, Asiatic people, that's my only love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we got one more.
Say it.
Thank you. How y'all feel? I'm great. Angela Davis. I'm Angela Davis. Angela, can you come join me, please? So while she's coming, I got a hook. You know, somebody gonna come through and sing the hook. All right, she's busy. I want to say that I personally didn't know Dr. Mbalia, but they say you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And so I know Terrence Tyler. We have worked together for many years. We share several children, hundreds of children that we are all super proud of. And also working with Dr. Tasha Johnson, who I loved immediately. And so those are two of his offspring, I guess you could say, that I've worked with and that I have enjoyed working with and are really great people. So from that, I feel that I know a little bit about Dr. Mbalia. And so all of these things that you all have talked about, it's a challenge to love ourselves, and it's definitely a challenge to love each other. And so I want to do, I'm gonna say it out here, I love this really awesome brother, and I wrote a poem about him, and so I'm gonna share it with you all today. All right, and Angela is gonna come through sing the hook. We got 2 mics or no? Y'all okay with some love poetry? That's revolution too, right? Love is revolution, right? Black love? All right. Okay. Yeah.
Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. It reigns forevermore. Oh, it reigns forevermore.
It keeps me, it seeks me, it chides me, and it guides me. And it takes me to places I ain't never been before. I'm flying high above where eagles soar. I'm discovering a whole new world where we exist as one. You gave new life to my passion as if it were Lazarus being brought forth from the dead. You fed my soul with words of life. Like a student with mistakes, you erased my strife, and all of my baggage from the past, you donated to the thrift store. Because of your love, you said I wouldn't have to trip no more. And so I'm here, resting easy like Sunday morning. Your adorning me with virtue and praise has helped to raise a new woman within. Forgotten are the sins of the past, and into the eternal abyss they are cast because
Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. It reigns forevermore. It reigns forevermore.
your love is like a lion in Zion, ferocious and righteous like fire and judgment. You turned on the light in me, gave me a praise to sing as if you were the ruler of the tribe of Judah. And when you are away, I look to the sky to await your return. Validation of your love I could never earn because you give it freely, and your coming into me has expanded my vocabulary, and I'm seeing things that I haven't seen before, and I'm walking through love's open door. And if every tree was an ink pen, and if every open acre was paper, I would never stop writing. I could never stop writing about the good you have done. Secondary only to the Father, Son, your healing touch has meant so much, moving past the physical, transposing the mental, and igniting my spirit. And when I give birth, the names of our children will be love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Because between the two of us, we would uphold the fruit of the Spirit, and when we die, our children would inherit us so that we might live through them, and then our love would know no end because
Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. Your love is like a lion in Zion. It reigns forevermore. Oh,
want to go ahead and bring our party speaker forward so that we can get our party line out. I'll let this brother come forward and speak. Give it up for my brother from another mother, King Terrence Tyler. Give it up.
Yeah! Yes!
All right, people. Won't be long here. Oh, my cards just fell in order. Grab these cards. They're numbered. As soon as I pull them out. Yeah. But luckily you studied your cards. All right, real quick. First thing I want to talk about is I want to thank you all for coming out to the 29th GarveyFest PRSP. Greatly appreciated. Just want to say a couple of things about Baba. Yes, first thing about Baba is my personal connection to him. And I say this all the time, it was Baba who introduced theory and practice to me. You know, it was more than just learning about your history and learning about your ancestors, but acting on that, being involved, mobilizing, and organizing. And I think Baba's biggest contribution to the city of Milwaukee and to us and to his people is this notion, this idea, this philosophy of Pan-Africanism, which I'm going to speak on shortly. But if you look at, if you study all of the ancestors, Malcolm X, Osagie Fu, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Doug Garveys, Amy Ashwood, Amy Dock, along with Marcus, W.E.B. Du Bois, all of these people came to a conclusion that the fastest way for us to get our liberation is through Pan-Africanism. All right. Hey, you may have to work these cards with me. Okay. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is every year PRSP produces a calendar. This year's calendar was called The Eternal Enemy. It talks about African people's struggles against our own weaknesses. Now, we at PRSP understand that the principal enemy is capitalism. We know this system where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, where the 1% runs everything in this society, controls the resources, and the people suffer, is our primary enemy. That's no secret. That's one of the reasons why we out here, we have the prison industrial complex. One of the reasons our high unemployment wage. Charlotte talked about it earlier with Milwaukee being one of the worst cities that, they allegedly say to grow up an African kid in. So there's no secret to the problems that take place in this country, in this system. However, we want to look at the internal struggles. These are things that go through us that we are having a problem with that we can figure out. So there's this brother you all probably know called Emil Cabral, African theoretician. He was the leader of the PAIGC. He was also, he wrote a book called The Weapon of Theory. And here's a quote by Emil Cabral. He says, "We note, however, that one form of struggle in which we consider to be the fundamental has not been explicitly mentioned. We refer to this struggle here as a struggle against our own weaknesses." And that's what I want to focus on briefly, some of these struggles that we have within. The first one I want to talk about, these internal struggles, is those neo-colonial puppets. Mama D mentioned that earlier. Those neo-colonial puppets are African leaders, presidents, chiefs in Africa who milk the resources to enrich themselves while the people continue to suffer. I was out there firsthand in Ghana in June, saw it for myself. Like those colonial puppets in Africa, here in the U.S. we have what we call Uncle Tom leaders. And if you just paid attention to number 45, Trump, you see that he surrounds himself sometimes with these Uncle Tom leaders. One of your beloved brothers in hip hop, I don't claim him anymore, but Kanye West was part of that. Most of those top of the line preachers side with Trump. Steve Harvey fell victim to it. Ray Lewis. So all of these leaders out there who continue to try to enrich themselves at the expense of their own people, we call those Uncle Tom leaders. We have civil wars in Africa. If you don't know, innocent women and children are being raped, murdered, and even sold by warlords
in various countries in Africa. These warlords try to enrich themselves with the resources of Africa by selling them to the highest imperialist bidder. So we should know that all of us who walking around with a cell phone, it has cocaine in it. There's only one place in the world where that's found in the Congo area. So you don't have a cell phone without the Congo. And if we go to the Congo now, those people are some of the poorest in the world. Just like those civil wars in Africa, here in the U.S., especially here in Milwaukee, this summer has been a B&B summer. It's been a beautiful summer, weather-wise, and it's been a bloody one on the streets. And we like to talk about or what we would say, African on African crime. Now, again, we understand that the system of capitalism is the principal enemy. And when you struggle to find your basic needs of food, clothing, shelter, proper education, quality health care, you're going to struggle. So any ethnic group, any hood in America where those things are a struggle to get, you're going to have violence upon each other. So we got to learn, we got to understand that, fix this system, and then that will filter down. Because unfortunately, all of the marches, the memorials are not working. So we got to reach the people by educating them about this system and also practicing our principles. We got to treat each other like we want to be treated. Humanism, working together in a cooperative manner, collectivism, and giving everyone an equal opportunity, egalitarianism. A couple of more internal struggles that we have. Backward habits and obsolete traditions. I don't want to, well, I'm going to say it anyway. But polygamy is a dead issue. You know, every tradition from Africa ain't a good tradition. That's nowhere in society. So some traditions we have to go do away with. And today in this capitalist society, polygamy is not one. That's something we got to do away with. Bride price. I don't know if you ever heard of bride price, where two families, the female's family negotiate with her husband about what it's going to cost for the marriage. And who loses the voice in that is the female. She has no power in that relationship, in that connection. So that's another tradition that we have to do away with. And the sister talked about it earlier about the 4th of July. All of these garbage holidays. We understand that we as African people love to come together, family and politic and communicate and things of that nature. But we got to do it better under different circumstances. 4th of July is a travesty. Anybody who's still celebrating that, wearing red, white, and blue and rocking the flag, I just don't get it. Thanksgiving, Misgivings Day, we got to do better with that one. Another obsolete tradition and tragedy that we need to get rid of is this whole boss man mentality in the household. There's no way me and my partner can both work 8 hours a day and I come home and expect her to cook, clean, and take care of the kids and things of that nature. That mentality has to go. That's played out. You know, during slavery, unfortunately, we had the most egalitarian way of living during slavery. The male could not come home or come to the hut after slavery and expect his woman to do everything when she was right next to him picking the cotton and things of that nature. So we have to have better relationships and balance in there. Another internal weakness is these cultural hustlers. They look like you, me. They walk around here with red, black, and green, gold and green on. They got a ton of beads, but they do everything for profit. And those are the cultural hustlers. You know, you cannot collect money for a school for the past 10 years, and that school is not built, and things of that nature. So we got a couple of cultural hustlers that we got to beware of. They spit knowledge, but they misinform the people, and they're not mobilizing and organizing the people. I just touched upon this earlier, the oppression of the African female. We understand that there are 3 ways that we are oppressed. We are oppressed through class, reality, rich, poor. We are oppressed through race, black, white, European, African. But the other way we are oppressed, that we as African men are not oppressed, but the women are, and that's gender. Because we come home and turn it out on them. So somehow we got to build better relationships, understand that the foundation of the African family will always be the woman. And we got to stand on that. This whole thing about hating, I'm not on social media, so people send me these things. But if you look on social media, the gifs, the memes that are made, it's just downright disgusting how we play each other and hate on each other. I saw one yesterday, dark-skinned, real big sister, had weave in her hair, but the weave looked similar to cotton candy. So somebody sent a split screen of cotton candy and this thick sister with her stomach hanging out and the weave looking like cotton candy. And it's too many of those images circulating through social media that we tend to think is funny that we got to do away with. So that hating got to go. Last one here that I want to talk about is individualism. We got to stop focusing on ourselves. We got to stop thinking me and think we. We got to stop thinking I and think us. Focusing on these selfish desires at the expense of the well-being of African people. Again, we got to practice collectivism. We understand that we live in a dog-eat-dog society and I got to get mine type of society. But if you think about all the ancestors who are on the wall, all of the ones we study, all of them was about the collective well-being of African people. So we can't keep saying I got to get mine at the expense of people. So in closing, I want to talk to you about the solution. Again, Dr. Ahmed Mbalia, the Garveys, Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, they all came to this notion called Pan-Africanism. It is the fastest way that we can get ours collected. And that's the unification and liberation of Africa under an all-scientific African government. In other words, and Mama D like to say you don't have to go to Africa, but I remember Baba always telling me, go to Africa if you want to. We know all of us can't go. The diaspora may not make it back, but if you got that opportunity, please go back. But you can get yours in Milwaukee by fighting for and struggling for Pan-Africanism. Because if you don't know, give me that next paper here. One of the pieces in the calendar here talks about if Africa was one country. If Africa was one country today, it would be the third most populous country in the world behind China and India. It would have the fourth largest economy in the world behind China, India, and the US. Africa would produce 75% of the platinum, 55% of the diamonds, and 20% of the gold if it was one country. So if it was one united and liberated Africa, we can use those resources to benefit us. That is Pan-Africanism. Even if you don't step foot in Africa, Marcus Garvey never did, you would still be able to benefit from that wealth. There's an old equation that we say, land equals wealth, because the only land we can claim is Africa. We can't claim the Native Americans' land here. Wealth equals power, power equals respect, and from respect you get liberation. A united socialist Africa means that African people would stand on their own 2 feet. African people would demand justice and equal trade. African people will have a new and powerful image about themselves. There's nowhere in the world we can go right now where African people are looked at positively together. Nowhere. So once you use those resources to enrich the people, we will have a new image that we all can be proud of. So in closing, I want you to stand up and be counted as part of the Pan-African Revolution's defeat global capitalism. I want you to join an organization, whether you join PRSP, whether you join organizations here, whether you decide to create and make one on your own. Do that. And in the words of Kwame Nkrumah, forward ever, backwards never. And in the words of Ahmed Baba Mbalia, Africa thanks you. So that's all I had to say. We're gonna definitely got 2 more live acts. Brother Omar is over there getting that painting of Baba together. Again, we got the chess demonstration. Anybody want to learn how to do head wrap? We got Sister Angela here waiting for somebody to come up. She can wrap heads with the whatever cloth, the head wrapping.
And right now, we're going to give this mic back to Brother Melvin.
All right, give it up, PRSP.